Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me? I don't see
Hello.
anybody else.
Yes. Hi. Hi,
Yeah?
Dr. Yes, I can see you. I can
Okay.
hear
Hello,
you.
Dr. Oskan.
Hi.
Hello, Miss Amel, Miss Aya, Mr. Kebe.
Hello,
All
Dr.
right. I believe we're starting a little bit late because the general session just literally ended. So I'm assuming that our audience will be appearing in a moment. I'm going to give people another couple of seconds to log into the breakout, because as I understand it, they have to log out of the general session and then log into the special session, so or the breakout session. So let's wait 30 seconds and then we'll begin. And we will have a Q&A session at the end, so if people are coming in late, they can ask some questions and we can fill in any details that have been missed maybe at the beginning. But in the interim, for the 30 seconds, let me make some introductions. I'm Leslie Powell. I'm the Dean of the College of Public Policy here at Hamad bin Khalifa University, and joining me is Dr. Özkan Öztürk, who's the professor in our college, of course, and the Mpp coordinator. And he'll be sharing some details on the Mpp program. And we are joined by one of our alumni, Mr. Mohammed Kebe, who graduated this past May, just this year. And we're very happy to have him as one of our graduates. He took the leap in the adventure of a new college that was launching a new program back in 2019. So we appreciate the faith that he put into us, and we hope that it's been repaid with success in his activities since then. And you don't actually see them, but we have our two outstanding support people, Ms. Amel and Ms. Aya, who are supporting the college in all of its activities, but here as well this evening to support this breakout session. Okay, I don't know whether we have anybody watching or not. I can't tell from this, but let's start nonetheless. So welcome to the College of Public Policy Graduate Studies Open House. I've already made introductions, but let me introduce myself again. I'm Leslie Powell. I'm the founding dean of the College of Public Policy. I'm the founding dean because I was here to found the college in July of 2019. Happy to say that Dr. Özkan, who is the Mpp coordinator currently, was one of the first colleagues that joined us in building the college back then in July and August of 2019. And I've Mr. Kebe, who will be moderating the Q&A session later, is one of our graduates, the first graduating cohort that graduated in May of 2021. So next slide, please. This is the agenda for this evening. We will try to make it brief but informative, and then leave enough time for questions and answers. I will provide an overview of the college itself, a little bit more detail than I was able to provide in the general session. I'll provide a brief introduction to faculty members. Many are teaching this evening, so they can't join us, with the exception of Dr. Özkan, but I'll try to provide a thumbnail sketch of their areas of expertise and their work. Then we'll move over to the Master of Public Policy program, which will be described by Dr. Özkan, and admission requirements, though I think we may be reversing the order of that if I'm not mistaken. Ms. Lana Asfour from the Registrar's Office will be discussing the admissions requirements first, and then we'll move into the Public Policy program. The reason for that is that Ms. Lana has to be miraculously in two places almost at once. So she's going to be with us first, and then skedaddle and go over and help the College of Law there. And then we'll have the Q&A session. And of course, if anybody has Q&A or questions for Ms. Lana, then she has had to leave to join us or join our colleagues in the College of Law. She can always respond via email. So next slide, please. Oh yeah, I have to provide some logistics. The microphones are going to be on mute for the audience throughout the session until we get to the end for the Q&A. At any time during the presentations, you can enter questions in the chat box or the Q&A text section there. And as you can see here, when you get to the point where we can actually pose those questions, you can do so through and the mics will be turned off. You'll be posing those questions via the WebEx facility here. If you're using a mobile, you'll see here the way in which the button to press and where to enter your Q&A, your questions. And then those will be listed, and Mr. Kebe will be moderating and gathering the questions and posing them to myself and Dr. Oskan when we get to the end of the session. Okay, now we can move on to, well, about HPKU. Most of you will know some of this, I think, but the university was founded 10 years ago, so we're celebrating our 10th anniversary. It's a member of the Qatar Foundation, and of course embedded here within Education City. And I would flag that this is one of the most important characteristics for the college, because being a member of the Qatar Foundation, being a member of HPKU, but embedded within the ecology of research institutions and partner universities, really gives us a distinct character as a College of Public Policy, as a policy school in comparison to other schools around the university, around the world. The university is dedicated to research, and it's a graduate institution. And those of you that participated in the general introduction or open house a few minutes ago will have seen the amazing array of research areas that are covered by the colleges just within HPKU. And this, of course, is leveraged even further by the other partner institutions within the Qatar Foundation. So it's a graduate institution. It focuses and encourages research both in the MA and the PhD level, and of course, among the faculty. So you've got a faculty cohort that is dedicated to good teaching, but at the same time, really super dedicated to cutting edge research and bringing that research directly into the classroom. Next slide, please. Here you see a organizational sketch of HPKU. It consists of the 6 colleges. There you see them on the left-hand column. I'm pleased to see the College of Public Policy at the top. We're the smallest and the newest, but on this slide, we're at top of the pile. Joining the colleges is a trio of research institutes, CURI on environment energy, the QCRI on computing, and QBRI on biomedical research. We do have interactions because of the multidisciplinary nature of public policy. We do engage with the research institutes as well as the other colleges in panels, in activities, in conferences. And again, it's an amazing opportunity for our students to be engaged directly with major research institutes that are dedicated to these areas of work and research. And then there are centers within the university as well, an executive education center, which we work with and will be working increasingly in 2022 in terms of offering training courses for government, both in Qatar and throughout the region, a university press, and then an innovation center that encourages and stimulates innovation across the research institutes and the colleges. Next slide, please. The College of Public Policy. What about us? I've already said we're the newest and smallest, but growing. And the mission of the well, let me back up a little bit. Public policy has been part of HPKU both at its beginning and even before its beginning. There was something before HPKU called the Qatar Faculty of Islamic Studies. It has now morphed into the College of Islamic Studies, which is part of the 6 colleges structure within the university. QFIS had a policy program that I was privileged to teach in back before HPKU was started, so more than 10 years ago. And then CIS had public policy as part of its offerings. And again, I was privileged to teach in the CIS. And then public policy migrated for a short period, about 2 years, to the College of Law. And only in 2019 was it designated as a separate college, and that's when we started with the college and the MPP. But even though we're new as a college and as a program, as I say, public policy has been part of the DNA of the infrastructure, the architecture of the university right from its very beginning, and even before it was launched in its earliest origins. So that's important to understand, and it means that we have direct organic linkages with the College of Law, with CIS, and the multidisciplinarity of the program is reflected in our connections with other colleges throughout the university. We're dedicated to, as is the university, to research both among our students and with our faculty, and to making practical contributions to the well-being of this country and to the region. And I know this sounds a bit overdrawn, but really to try to make for a better world. And we can do that in small ways, but in real ways and practical ways. And a simple example, as you'll see in a moment, would be in research on SDGs. Qatar, like every country in the world, has made commitments on sustainable development and the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Our students are working, some of them, many of them are working on sustainable development, and they can make a contribution through their research to Qatar's commitments on the SDGs, which end up making a commitment or a contribution to global commitments on SDGs. So it's not too much of a stretch to say that what we do here in our small college and in our university can end up having national and international consequences and impact. Next slide, please. What about our partners and engagement? Even though we've only been around for 2 years, we've been building our partnerships and trying to ensure that our students have exposure and connections through these partnerships to the wider world of public policy. I am the president of something called the Vice President of the International Public Policy Association, which is a global academic association marshaling researchers around the world in colleges and schools of public policy and administration like ours. And we're a member, and as I mentioned, I'm the vice president of this association, and that gives us a direct connection to public policy scholarship around the world. That's one. Next, this is the Astana Center it's the hub for civil service development in Kazakhstan and Central Asia. It's funded and supported by the UNDP. And we have the Astana Civil Service Hub members coming to a panel at the Mpp conference, which will be held just in a few weeks in December. So it's a regional hub for civil service and policy. It's supported again by international institutions. Next. You can keep flipping. This is the This is the Russian Presidential Academy of National Economy and Public Administration. We have an MOU with RENEPA and exchanges hopefully coming up in the next year now that we can travel again with students and faculty. Next. This is Hawaza University in Ethiopia. We just signed an MOU with them. They have a college or a school of public policy, and we hope to begin our association and our partnership with them this coming year. Next. The University of Maryland is also a partner. We have an MOU with them. Next. Berkeley, the University of California, Berkeley. Both the University of Maryland and Berkeley have been involved in a program, evaluation teaching that we've been doing through the college over the last year, and we'll be continuing to be partners in our efforts in developing program evaluation as an area of work for the college. Next. Reach Out to Asia is a program here at QF, and we have worked with them to develop assessments of some of their programs. Next. This is the ACTA. This is the agency dealing with transparency within the state of Qatar. We have are about to sign an MOU with them to continue and build a research association with them and a partnership to help them work on research issues and also to evaluate some of their programs. Next. The Qatar Financial Center Regulatory Authority is an entity that we've signed an MOU with last year and have worked in partnership with, and our students are working with them on some of our capstone projects. And I think last but not least is the Doha Forum, which is an annual international forum sponsored by Qatar. It's the next version of the Doha Forum will be held in March of 2022. And we are organizing a panel for that, as we did in 2019 when they had the last physical. So this gives you a sense of the range of partnerships that we've developed just in 2 years with universities around the world, with entities here in Qatar, both regulatory and government and ministerial entities, and using those partnerships to feed our research activities and support some of the work that our students are doing. Next slide, please. This is, Dr. Özkan will speak more directly about the Mpp in a few moments, but in terms of our faculty, you see the photos there. Dr. Özkan is an economist working in the areas, and I'm only mentioning a few for each one of these faculty members. They have a portfolio of research interests that eclipses what I can describe in just a minute or two. But Dr. Özkan is an expert on trade and has worked on food security issues. Dr. Andreas Reckheimer is working on climate governance and sustainability issues and energy. Dr. Anis Ben Brick is a professor here who is working on social and family issues and also on program evaluation. Dr. Logan Cochran, who joined us just this last year, is working on program evaluation, international development, and local economic development and sustainability issues. Dr. Kim Maloney, who just joined us very recently this summer, is an expert on transnational administration and international organizations, one of which, for example, is the World Bank. Dr. Daryl Jarvis is an expert on policy analysis and policy design, and higher educational institutions and public management. But again, that's just a brief description of their areas of work, and their research contributions again feed into the courses. So what you're getting when you're in a course in one of our courses is not just the excellent teaching that they all provide, but you're getting exposure to cutting edge and real research work that each of these colleagues is currently doing. Next slide, I think, and that would take us to the admission requirements that Ms. Lana will be referring to. So, Ms. Lana.
Good evening. Thank you, Dean Powell. Good evening, everybody. Nice to see all of you on here. Welcome. I'm gonna just take you very briefly through our admission requirements, and of course, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat. I'm actually happy for you to start typing while I'm speaking, and I will try to incorporate all of the answers into my talk and then answer anything remaining at the end. So just sort of very basic requirements, minimum requirements here are that applicants need to have a bachelor's degree with a strong academic record, so meaning a minimum of a 3.0 GPA out of 4 or equivalent. So if you're coming from a system that's not out of a 4.0 GPA, we would calculate an equivalent to that based on your transcript. Applicants from all fields are welcome to apply. And then there is an English language proficiency requirement. So the minimum score is an IELTS of 6 or a TOEFL of 79. However, if you have completed your undergraduate studies in English and you can provide us with a letter from the university you studied at confirming that, then you would be exempt from this requirement. So moving on now to the next slide. So the online application is available on our website at the following link. In addition to, once you do submit the application, you'll be asked to upload several documents. The first and most important thing is your academic transcript. And that doesn't just mean your graduation statement or diploma. We need to know everything about what you've done as an undergraduate. And of course, if you do already have a master's and you're applying to the Mpp, that's totally fine, but we do need your entire academic history. So we would need both your bachelor's and your master's transcripts. If you're coming from a university system that doesn't have a 4.0 or 5.0 GPA system, then we would need a grading scale in order for us to be able to convert your courses into our 4.0 system. Those are usually found on the back of your transcript. You can contact your university registrar or even check your university's website for that. And then again, if you are not exempt from taking IELTS or TOEFL, we would need you to upload your score with the online application. If you have a letter from your university confirming you studied in English, you can upload that instead. You need to submit a personal statement talking a little bit about yourself, your background, why you're interested in this program. It's helpful to mention a little bit about why Hpku, and then what you plan to do with this degree. We need a copy of your passport. If you live in Qatar, we need a copy of your ID as well. And then a resume, 2 letters of recommendation. If you've applied in the past, it's a little bit different this year. Once you submit your online application, you will get to the page, that says thank you for applying, with a sort of confirmation of what you've applied to. And then there will be a link there where you go in, you type in the names, emails of your referees, and then they will receive an automated message requesting them to complete the recommendations. You will receive a confirmation, an automatic confirmation, once those recommendations have been completed by your referees. Of course, if you have any questions about that, you're more than welcome to email us. Admission deadline is February 1st for international applicants, March 15 for Qataris and residents of Qatar. The March 15 deadline is very important for Qataris and residents because only those who apply by that date will be eligible to apply for funding. Next slide, please. So this is where you can find more information about the College of Public Policy, as well as the admission requirements. And then that's the email address that has that you can use to ask about anything related to admissions, and we'll get back to you within a few working days. I'm also happy to answer any questions you may have now. I'm just checking the Q&A and I don't see any. Does anyone have any questions? I guess not. Well, I'll type the email address in the chat. Okay, we got a question. Hi, Niaz. Yeah, feel free to type your question, please.
فاضل لي 10 دقايق. فاضل لي 10 دقايق.
Hi, Niaz, did you have a question? Yeah, you can type it. You can type it.
Please type it. Okay, sorry, there's a bit of a delay. I'm just seeing all these questions coming through now, so let me address these. Dean Powell, there's a question about funding. Perhaps we could table that one till the end, if that's okay. Somebody's just asking about funding. Mm-hmm.
And then for transcripts, if your transcript indicates that you've studied in English, then you're set. You don't need to submit any other documentation related to that. Can we get this particular session on record afterwards? I don't know about that. Can you send an email to admissions.cpp and I'll check if we can share this. but everything on here is exactly what's on the website. Yeah, so I think I've answered all the questions, but I'm happy to respond to anything else over email, or I can come back after the last session if this is still going on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lana. Again, I may not have been clear in the instructions. The mics will always remain mute, so if you do have questions, please type them into the chat box. And when we get to that point, we'll be able to, Mr. Kebe will moderate and direct the questions to either myself or to Dr. Özkan, or if necessary, we'll table them and hold them and forward them to Ms. Lana if they're admissions related questions. And I'll come back to the funding question toward the end, because I do want to go ahead and at least have a description of the program. So thank you, Ms. Lana. Bye.
You're most
Okay,
welcome.
so Dr. Özkan?
Hi, Dr. Nazi. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. So my name is Özkan. I'm an assistant professor of economics in the College of Public Policy. And as Dr. Nazi said, I'm the program coordinator for the Mpp program. I'm teaching economics for public policy and research methods for public policy courses. And research-wise, I do research, quantitative research in international trade, and broadly in 3 to 4 areas: international trade, food and agricultural economics, economic development, particularly poverty, inequality, food security, and also I do some research in energy and environmental economics. So if you like quantitative stuff and numbers, then I am the guy you want to work with. Yeah, so that's all about my research. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about my research and teaching at the end of the session. So I'll be introducing our only single master program, which is the Master of Public Policy. So we are currently offering only one program, and hopefully more will come soon. So the Mpp program is very popular. Actually, last year we received around 400 applications. Our acceptance rate is around 5%, very low. It's very popular. So the Mpp program, speak about this. So it's a 2-year full-time degree taught in English. As an economics, the way I see the program, I think it's unique in many ways. The first thing is that the program is designed. It's a very comprehensive. It's designed to train students on all stages of policy making, from policy design to management, implementation, and to assessment and evaluation. That's why it's very, you get very comprehensive education and training about this. It's also unique in the sense that it integrates theory, research, and practical applications from a multidisciplinary perspective. So our students enrolled in the Mpp program, they develop a solid core theoretical knowledge in their first year, and then they get opportunity to specialize in either social or energy policy in their second year. And the social policy includes, but not limited to, energy, like a family policy, health policy, or education or gender issues policies, like that. And I think that another unique feature of this program is that the Mpp its emphasis on solving the real world problem, and this is, I think, mostly done in the second year through specialization labs, advanced seminars, and Capstone Project. So the Capstone Project is very unique aspect of this program. The project is like a team of 3 to 4 students work as a team under the supervision of a faculty member, and they work with a client organization, or what we call partner organization, in Qatar or in the world, and they try to address a challenge, a real world problem, and try to come up with a policy solution to that program. So we are happy that we have actually, last year we have our first graduates, and then they completed 3 very important capstone projects, which I will be talking about them shortly. Our graduates are mostly suited to the senior roles in governments, international organizations, government ministries, NGOs, and many other positions. One of the current graduates, actually, she got a job at the Supreme Committee for Justice, and we have Mr. Kebe. He is a research assistant in the college, and we have other students doing holding very good positions in multiple institutions. Next slide, please. The program consists of 39 credits taught over 2 years in English. The table is a typical study plan for a full-time student. In the first year, our students take 8 courses, total of 24 credits, which gives a theoretical knowledge of the public policy. As you can see, the courses include policy analysis and design, economics, ethics, research methods, public management, global political economy, comparative public policy, analytical methods, and quite interdisciplinary. And in the second year, students specialize in one of the 2 areas, either in social policy, which include education, family and health, or energy and environmental policy. So that they take advanced seminar or specialization lab in the track that they choose, either social policy or energy and environmental policy, and with emphasis with the sustainability. And in the last semester, students complete a capstone project. As I said, they work with a faculty member, with a client organization, and try to address a real-world issue. Next slide, please. In addition to courses, we also offer skills workshops. These are 0 credit skills workshops. Based on the need and the resources, we offer, at least once a semester. It could be writing skills, academic writing skills in public policy, or leadership, negotiation, data management. So depending on the need and resources, we offer different courses. But these are meant to support students and give them equip them with the skill sets that they can do their research or their work. Next slide, please. Yeah, these are the capstone projects the first one that we completed them last year. They are quite diverse, as you can see. The first 2 are in the track of social policy. So the first one was an analysis of wage protection system in Qatar. The next one, professional development of migrant workers. These were supervised by Dr. Enis. And navigating clean and sustainable energy transition, supervised by Dr. Andreas. So I think the students successfully completed this capstone project and to come up with really good policy recommendations. I think this policy, the capstone project, should be available for you to read, and I think you can definitely request them to check and see how a capstone project looks like. For I think organization, so we work for the organization like client organizations include education, above all, ILO, International Labour Organization, or the Gulf Organization for Research Development, which actually Dr. Leslie just mentioned most of them, and QFDD, Qatar Fund for Development, QFCRA, Qatar Financial Center for Regulatory Authority, and many others. So we work with these organizations, and then students work with those organizations for the capstone project. And the current cohort actually are working on these 3 capstone projects on climate change and sustainability, and assessment of foreign assistance from state of Qatar, financial regulatory, green financing, smart contract, and this one. So these are we have a total of 15 students working on this project. Next, the very next slide. I think that's all. I just like to mention that, as I think it was mentioned in the previous slides by Dr. Lan also mentioned, our students come from very diverse background. We have students coming from social sciences, economics, business majors, political science majors, and community students coming from international relations. Also, we have students from science and natural sciences. So we have students coming from engineering background, a couple of students from engineering background, a health background. We have even a nurse in our program. So as long as you are interested in the policy making process, I think definitely you can apply for the program. So we are looking for 15 to 20 exceptional students from Qatar or beyond. So the applications are now open. If you are interested, please submit your application. We are happy to review your application and get back to you. And that's all from me. Please type your questions. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, or please reach out to me or Ms. Amal from the emails mentioned in the slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Oskan. So Mr. Kebe, would you now kindly moderate the Q&A session for us?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Pal and Dr. Osgad, for those brief discussion about the program and the requirements. So basically, if you all remember, Dr. Pal talked about me. Basically, I was a student, part of the first cohort of the college, and graduated in May, and now working as a researcher in the College of Public Policy. So yes, we will go straight to the questions. We have a couple of them that are already been submitted. You can also keep sending your questions and any concern you have, and hopefully they will give you the best answer possible. So the first question we have come from Mohammed Said. He asks about the percentage value for the funding that the college normally give to the students. Like if you are admitted, what is the percentage of funding that is available for the students? That's the first question. So I guess anyone can answer.
Dr. Razi, may I go ahead?
Yes, please. I should mention that Dr. Oskan is also the chair of the admissions committee in addition to being the MPP coordinator, so he can speak very directly about the admissions processes. Dr. Oskan?
Yeah, thank you very much. So the admission process actually sort of is done in two steps. In the first, students apply for admissions. So let's say if we have 400 applications, we shortlist 20 of them, 15 to 20 of them, and with a waiting list of another 20. And then those who are admitted into the program, then they can apply for funding. So the first step is admission step, and the second step is for funding. So those who are admitted into the program, they can apply for scholarship. And scholarships available for for those who are admitted, and it includes tuition waiver. For international students, it also include housing, a stipend, and tickets. But these are distributed based on merit, and that is reflected in your GPA transcript and your statement purpose of statement and your recommendation letters. So, and the percentage-wise, I think it's depends. In some years, like currently, we have 2 students in our program who are international students. That means like so that means that 10%, but maximum we go is 30% for international students.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question is asking about the requirement, which is the English language requirement. It says from Nais that there are some transcript that he has seen, which is written in English. So he's asking if that is enough to show that the person has undergone English program, or does the person still have to submit a letter to indicate that he's proficient in English?
Yeah, so I think for English there's requirement. They have to either submit a TOEFL score, or if the undergrad degree is in English, then they have to provide a letter from the school. Those are the only 2 ways to waive the English requirement.
Okay. So the next question
The
is,
fact that your transcript is written in English doesn't mean that the requirement is met. You have to provide a letter or a
thank you. So either the
Okay.
IELTS, TOEFL, or the letter, you must submit one of them.
Yes.
Okay. So the next question is asking whether the session can be provided online so that people can rewatch it again, if that is available.
I'm not sure of that. Miss Aya, do you have any idea if this is recorded and it will be shared?
Yes,
Someone?
yes, it's recorded and it's going to be shared.
Okay.
We will put
Yes.
it on our LinkedIn page, CPP Hpku.
Okay. So you can go to LinkedIn, search for CPP Hpku, and you will be able to watch the video very soon. So the next question is about GPA again. Is from Nais again. He's asking whether if a student has 2.8 GPA, but the percentage is indicating 70, will that student have a chance to be admitted to the program?
So those requirements are set by the graduate office. We don't have any control. Actually, it's not like a CPP requirement, or it's they're all Hpku requirements. There are sort of like so the minimum GPA is 3.0, but there's admission and conditional admission committee. If the students and other things about all the other requirements are very strong, and then the college can request for a conditional admission, but we must have very strong justification for that. So I encourage him to apply anyway. So we will review his file, and if we see a strong justification to apply for admission, conditional admission, and then I think we can go for that. But the rule is that, you know, but this is very, very low chance. I will have to say this.
Okay, thank you very much. So, but still, you can always apply, try your chances. You never know where your luck is. So the next question is about the admission process again. The student is Nais again is asking whether if an applicant submit an application early and the admission team knows that that person has a good application and been accepted, will the person be informed prior to the deadline of the application? So I believe he's asking whether the process is a rolling basis in which if you submit, they will be able to review, tell you your results, even though the admission deadline hasn't passed yet.
So actually there is, the answer is yes. We can, so we look at the files. If for example, if the application is submitted last year, last month, so we review those last month's application this month, and we can inform those who are admitted in this month, and then those who applied this month, we review their applications in the following months. So but I think at least a month or so, they have to wait at least a month or so to get the decision, original decision. But again, so this is not one person decision. There is an admissions committee, which consists of four faculty members. So we come together, we review their file, we look at everything. We look at your GPA, your English requirement, your CV, other letters and everything, and then come up with a decision.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question is very general. The question says, what is the scholarship policy for MPP?
I'm not sure exactly what he's asking. Scholarship policy, I mean the scholarship funding opportunities.
Yes, it's a general question, nothing specific. He just asked the scholarship policy for the MPP.
Yeah, as I said, scholarship is available to the students who are admitted into the program, and that is again all based on the academic merit, and those who are admitted will be offered tuition waiver, and if they are international students, that also includes stipend, housing, and ticket as well.
Okay, thank you. The next question is saying that the student, like if a student has a bachelor's degree in another language different from English, but have a master's degree in English, which is the medium of instruction in English, is asking whether that particular student can have an exempt from English test.
To be honest, I don't know that. I'm not sure of this answer. I encourage them to send an email to Miss Lana from the admissions at cpp.edu.qa.
Yes, so I believe these are the basic requirements. The basic requirements, you can always send email to the admissions office, which is Lana, and they will be able to answer you regarding that. So next question we have, again, that's the last one, which is a question that we already answered previously. Is the person who asked the question says that he did not hear the maximum requirement that you indicated about the scholarship percentage. If you can elaborate on that again.
Maximum requirement?
The the percentage for the scholarship value.
Yeah.
Like how much are you going to give for international students?
Maybe I can. Okay, even the stipend.
I think maybe
Yeah,
because the question as I see it is, sorry, I didn't hear the maximum percentage of scholarship providing to international students. So as Dr. Özkan said, the support, I should back up a little bit and say that our scholarship funds are quite limited, and that's true right across HPKU. So that's something that students or applicants have to understand. And number two, as Dr. Özkan said, you have to apply first and then and be admitted, and then it's only those students who are admitted who can then apply for a scholarship. So it's a two-stage process. And among those who have been admitted or provisionally admitted, again, determinations are based on the quality of the applicant and the quality of the submission of the application. For international students, and again, we can only take a small number of international students. Probably if we were able to take 20 students in total, we can only take about between 3 and 5 international students, but in part because we do want to provide adequate support. We understand that international students do require additional support in terms of travel to get here, accommodation, so that's the housing, some kind of support for living, which, buying your groceries and being able to survive. And of course, being able to pay the tuition. So the tuition waiver, the maximum that we are paying or providing is in the zone between 50 and 70% reduction in the tuition. So international students would be paying somewhere between half and 30%. There's no total 100% tuition waiver, and that would be true both for international students and for local residents / Qataris. So again, depending on the quality of the applicant and the application, for the local students who are residents or who don't require a housing or living stipend, again, we're offering for the best applicants, we're offering a tuition waiver somewhere in the vicinity of between 50 and 70% of the tuition, meaning that students would still be paying between 30 and 40% of the stated tuition. So that gives you a sense of how we try to manage these things, but again, it's based on first admission, provisional admission into the program, and then a subsequent application by those who are admitted for scholarship support. I hope that clarifies things.
Yes. Okay. Let me also try to give some perspective from a student perspective. So, as Dr. Pal said, you will have some kind of a waiver in this in the tuition fee, and also there will be free housing for you together with some stipend in which you will be able to pay back the portion that is not covered in your tuition fee. And also another advantage that can also assist you further financially is that QF in general has so many kind of student jobs that you can take not only for the financial reason, but also to develop yourself in your skill set on whatsoever area you are interested in. So for instance, while I was a student, I was serving as a community development advisor, in which I had to deal with so many different kind of students. So that gave me the opportunity to learn a lot about diversity and other issues, which is very vital in my public policy program, because as a policymaker, you should be able to know the community, know their problem, and understand how you can help them. So that kind of job alone will not only help you financially, but it will also help you develop more skills towards your program. So again, you can take student jobs at least 20 hours per month, which will be paid on a student level base, which is an hourly basis. So apart from the tuition waiver, the free housing, and the stipend you'll be receiving, there's also that way in which you can earn and help yourself financially. But even without that student job, the scholarship you are going to be receiving from the school will be enough to sustain you, as well as help you towards your tuition payment as well. So that is from
yes, we have to emphasize. Thank you, man. Sorry, go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm done. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we have to emphasize that the funding is quite limited, and it's all based on the quality of applications, and offered very limited and offered based on the academic merits. Yeah, and there are, of course, as you said, there are other opportunities when they come here.
Yes. So thank you very much. If we have any further question that we will like to address it. If not, then I guess I will give back Dr. Pal to close.
There's another question, a final question there, Mr. Kebe.
Okay, yes. The final question is to confirm, can you please advise the number of persons admitted into the program? Yeah, the intake, the number of persons that are normally accepted into the program.
15 to 20 students. We are looking for 15 to 20 exceptional students for the coming years.
Okay, 15 to 20 out of, let's say, 400 that applied last year.
Also, we haven't last year, so to give you a rough idea, last year we received around 400 applications. So it was 380 something, yeah. So that's an acceptance rate of 5%.
Yeah.
And that's
so only 5% are accepted, which means it is very, very competitive, but still you can submit your application. So we have one more question that just come in. It says, I have 70% mark in my undergraduate degree. Can I apply for the MPP?
70%? What
I
does
guess
it
it's
mean?
out of 100.
Out of 100. So I think, so there is a scale to convert it. And if it's above 3.0, then definitely they can. So the Miss Lan, I think Miss Lan is a good person to answer those questions. So they have to provide a scale letter, and then I think that they convert it, and then if it corresponds to 3.0 or above, then they can apply.
Okay, thank you. Any other question?
If I can add one point, I mean, it may seem that our target of between 15 and 20 seems quite low, but the reason for that is the quality of the program. If we accepted 50 or 60 students with, you know, a small faculty cohort of 6 faculty, the class sizes would have to expand quite dramatically. So what we try to do, and this is true of HPKU generally, is provide a quality degree, a quality learning experience, and we're really dedicating ourselves to that. So the cohort size of 15 to 20 means that that's about the maximum that you're going to be having in your classes, and often they're going to be much smaller. So I think Mr. Kebe can attest to the fact that the class sizes are sufficiently small that they can be in a seminar format, allowing engagement, questions and answers back and forth. It's not a lecture style, you know, with an auditorium filled with 150 people. It's meant to be engaging and direct. So that's the reason that we keep the numbers as low as we do, you know, that's part of our effort to improve the quality of the program. I also want to be sure that people aren't discouraged from applying. You know, it's a low acceptance rate, but you know, if you're here, if you attended the HPKU session, if you're attending this session, I'm presuming that you're kind of in the ballpark anyway, in terms of your interests, in terms of your background. So I don't want you to feel discouraged. You know, we are trying to look at the full person who's applying, not just the GPA only. We look at their background, their skill set, their language proficiency, their you know, the contribution that we think that they can make as a local student, as a Qatari, as an international student. So there's a lot that comes into the mix. And you know, if you think you're interested in this program, and if you think you could do it and you want to do it, then don't be discouraged in terms of applying. We really look hard at each and every application and carefully at them, and we are trying to attract the best and the brightest to the program. So give it a shot. It's worth the chance, and we will do our best to accommodate, you know, the qualified students that are applying.
Yes. So thank you very much, Dr. Pal. So I don't have any more questions coming in. So I guess that is the end then. Dr. Pal?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kebe, and thank you, Dr. Oskan, and thank you, Ms. Aya, Ms. Amal, for the background support. So we will, these are the, this is just an indication of the different sources of information that are provided on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course our webpage. So as Ms. Aya indicated, this was recorded, is being recorded, and will shortly be available, the full session, if you missed anything, beginning, middle, or near the end. And Ms. Lana is available to direct any questions. And that, again, was admissions.cpp.edu.qa. Is that correct, Dr.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes. And yeah, so I hope this was informative. Please consider us as an option for your further education. I can guarantee you that you'll have an exceptional experience here, and it will lay the foundations for thank you, Dr. Oskan, there it is again, lay the foundations for both the expansion of your knowledge, your engagement with your community, and ultimately, we are absolutely convinced, brilliant careers that will make a difference to the country you're in, and to the region, and inshallah to the world. So thank you very much, and we look forward to receiving your applications. And if you have any other questions, you can contact admissions, you can contact Dr. Oskan, you can find our email addresses on the college webpage, and we're more than happy to try to answer any of your questions subsequent to this information session. So thank you all again, and best for the evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.